Hey guys, what's up? It's Quentin Drew here. So here's a coin store video from, I think it was a couple weeks back. Today is June 2nd. I'm making a bunch of videos that I need to get around to doing. I'm really behind and I apologize. But I'm slowly getting back into the routine of uploading. I'm going to be doing it every night. So you'll see the video in the morning when you guys wake up, because I've been doing it at night. So this is probably another good pickup. Not as good as that 1925 North American metal coin, whatever you want to call it, that I picked up the time before this whole, mess of things here. But pretty much in a nutshell here, I paid about $30 for everything you see in front of me. And it did absolutely fantastic because I think there's either one or two coins here alone that pay for the whole purchase. We're going to move here really quickly. This is that roll of quote-unquote unsearched or just mixed pennies that I completely got screwed over with basically, but I don't really care. Paid $2.50 for it, but when you see what else I got in this purchase this time when I went, it's pretty rewarding if you think about it in the long run here. So picked up $3 half dollars, $7.25 a piece. 2 quarters, I think there was like $6.50 or something like that total, $6.75. Buffalo for a quarter. 2 Canadian large cents, really nice condition. That was 50 cents, quarter a piece. And all this for face value. I went through a big bag and sorted out some stuff for Mr. K that they had purchased. This was part of that big thing of nickels that they bought. All those old nickels that they had purchased initially. That I went through, I think the same person brought in a bunch of cents, just a bunch of random cents, and I just picked through maybe 1,000 of them, and he sold me these for face. So I'll move over to these really quickly first. You got a stack of really nice uncirculated, like we're talking like straight MS65 1960s, absolutely fantastic coins with very small amounts of bag marks on them. Could be 64s if that. Very, very beautiful condition. Absolutely fantastic. Another 1960 there. There's another 1960, another 1960, and this beautiful looking 1962. I think I'm going to probably put these in my Dansko, or at least the best one. They're very beautiful. I got a stack of 68S's. I just grabbed these because I need these for my 68S roll that I'm working on. There's one in here that's pretty low grade, that one right there. But, like I said, all of them are just pretty much like AUXFs. There's a couple 71S's there, and there's a 72S. Like I said, I just went through about 1,000 or so, maybe a couple thousand. I actually found a handful, about probably right around a dozen or so, maybe less, maybe half a dozen of wheat pennies in that bag that weren't supposed to be there. So since I found those wheat pennies, pulled them out, Mr. K gave me these for face, so that was pretty awesome of him. But anyways, we're going to move over here. This is a Buffalo I picked up. It keeps sticking to the carpet. Picked this up for a quarter, and I don't know if you guys can see this date. It's a little bit dark in here. I think some, I have this tube TV over here, and I was working on it for trying out some old vintage game systems, and I think the light's reflecting off of it, and it's kind of making it darker over here. But 1919 is the year. I'm going to probably take it out of this 2x2 and put it in my book. It's a 1919 partial date. It's actually an estimate mark, and for 5 cents I think I did really good. Or yeah, 5 cents. No, for 25 cents, I'd say I did pretty decent. It's about maybe a $6 coin. And for 5 cents, I keep saying 5 cents, for 25 cents, that's going in my book. Really happy with that one. 2 Canadian large cents, lots of detail in these. This one especially, this one's incredible. This just feels really nice in your hand. If I didn't know better, it's like an AU58. This is a 1916 or 1915. Lots of detail on this one. Incredible. Lots of detail. The rim, I don't know why the rim is like this. It's like bigger in portions. It's like unproportional, but it feels really like crisp feel to it, like a new cent or a new nickel. Kind of feels like the edge of like a proof nickel almost. Kind of has that big rim to it. I don't know, kind of weird. And then this I don't even remember, 1912. Canadian large cent. I need to get a book for these, so if anyone has a used Whitman album or Dansko, just throw me a message or something, or email coinhuntingdrew@gmail. I really am looking out for a large cent album. And then the best finds here, guys, got 4 barbers and amazing commemorative $50, and this is the best find. So let's get into this, guys. So this here was not in the quarter bin. To start off, actually, there was a bunch of barber quarters all around, a bunch of barber coins in the bins and stuff. When I went to the coin store, there was a bunch of barber dimes and a bunch of barber quarters, at least maybe 100 barber quarters or so, maybe 70, 50, probably right around 50 to 70 more than I think about it, as I think about it. Barber quarters in the quarter bin, and they were like $3.25 or something like that a piece. So I picked this one up. This was in the bin, that one wasn't, but he still sold me that for spot. This is a 1908D barber quarter, probably like a G4, G6. Very decent shape. Pretty much average condition, but I didn't have this one, so I figured why not, I'll pick it up for spot. Probably right about I want to say 6, but it's probably more like an $8 coin. Catalog value at least. Not bad. Very happy with that. This one you guys will like. This one I picked up for spot as well. And I asked Mr. K if what I said initially was like, you know, I don't assume, because this was in a different bag and stuff. I asked him if he had anything else laying around. He brought out a bag with a bunch of coins in it, and I pulled this one out, put it aside. I'm like, I told him, I don't assume, you know, you would be willing to sell this for spot. And he looked at it, he's like, well, it's gonna lay around here if I sell it for like $8 or $9, you know, or $10, you know, because stuff sits on the showroom floor for quite some time. So he's like, sure, I'll just sell it to you for spot. And it may have been cleaned. I don't think it has been. It's pretty much all original. It just has weird like toning to it or something like that. Could have been oil cleaning at one time. It's a very strong piece. Like a VG10 maybe. No, that's more like a fine 12. I had this at a fine 15, but now I'm thinking it's more like a fine 12 or a VF20. Yeah, VF20, no. A VG10, that's what I meant to say, not a VF20. So VG10 to fine 12, and that's not a bad grade. The reverse is absolutely fantastic. It's very hard to actually find coins sometimes in this nice of condition, even though the 1907s accommodate. It's still a very nice find because a lot of the barber quarters circulated out, and not many of them are like that. So, quick catalog value here. 1907. Actually, 1907 was the first barber coin in general I actually owned in my collection, which is quite funny. $16 coin in fine, 30 in VF20, so still a quite nice piece. They could have probably got like 12 out of it. I could probably get like 12 out of it. So not bad at all. And then I got 2 barber halves, and I'm really stoked about this. I got this for spot, a little over spot, of course. $7.25, I believe it was. And absolutely fantastic. I was really happy with this when I got home because I didn't realize the vintage of one of these. But first one here, this is the one I didn't realize the vintage of. I've been getting into barber halves a lot more lately, guys, and very beautiful coins, even though some of them are even worn out. They had a bunch more barber halves, but they were all rough, but I picked up the nicest one. This one's a 1911. Usually whenever I see barber halves in there, I'll pull them out. Probably like a VG7, VG8, just because there's a partial liberty, very, very small. It's an L and an I. 1911. Flip that over. It's a Denver mint. And the barber half dollars, a handful of them, maybe half a dozen or so. A little bit over half a dozen, I think. maybe now that I look at it, about a dozen actually. Yeah, over, I'd say like right around a dozen, had mintages under about $1 million, and some of them are key dates, some of them aren't. And this one here, I'm surprised, it's part of that portion of them that have under $1 million. 1911D, 695,000 minted. VG, it's a $24 coin, and the G is just basically like every other coin, which kind of surprises me with that low of a mintage, but not bad. I find it funny how the 1909O had 300,000 more, and it's a $19.80 coin in G4 compared to the 11D. So I'm assuming that this probably has like a $20 catalog value in regards to G4. That's my guess. So not bad at all. Very nice piece. I'm keeping this one in my collection just because I don't have an 11D until I get an upgrade. That wouldn't stay in my collection. And then we got a beautiful 1912D. This is probably like a VG10, I want to say. VG8, I don't know. I want to say a VG10 because the detail in the reverse is pretty strong. 1912, the rim detail, still the ridges in the rim. 1912D, lots of detail in this one. I'm really happy with this one. This one they had 12D, okay, 2.3 mil, probably about a $22 catalog value in regards. Could probably get more out of it if it's a VG10. Probably could get right around 25, 30 out of it. So not bad at all, very happy with that one. And then the best find, guys, and I was shocked with this one. In the back of my head, when I was looking through the $50 bin, short story here, I noticed this this commemorative $50 here. And I actually own one of these. I own a 1946, about right around uncirculated. I kept in mind, you know, I've seen them a couple times in the bin before. I remember Mr. K's actually put them aside and said, oh, they don't belong in there, but this one, you know, got in there, and he still sold it to me for, you know, $7.25. And the 1946, and I have to look really quickly here, the 50S, I think, or yeah, the 50S. 50S is the second lowest mintage of the series. The most common is the 1 million minted 1946, which 1 million, you know, isn't that many, but still, it's quite a bit because large majority, if not almost all of them that you see, are usually 1946s. And from there on, basically the rest were lower mintages. I think the reason why these are so low, like in the 8,000s and 6,000s, is partially because they were probably from mint sets, I think, or some sort of mint set. But I noticed the date on this, and I knew immediately in the back of my head, this is a good coin to pick up, and that this probably had under 10,000 minted. And turns out, guys, I was right. 1948 Booker T. Washington $50. First spot, flip it over, beautiful conditions, about an AU, I'd say. I don't want to give it an XF, it's definitely like an AU. The reverse is so close to uncirculated with the luster. The luster is, you know, uncirculated, but the detail is not. And I look down there and there's a D mint mark, and that's where the mint marks are, right under the log cabin on these things. Oftentimes they're missed. Because, you know, not many people collect these. You know, MS65 pieces of these coins go for, I've seen them sell sometimes up in the $300 range. And I did some looking up here, and this catalog isn't completely correct. I've found a handful of catalogs and stuff like that. This is probably right around either $50 to $75 coin. Now look at the mintage on this thing, 1948D. They made 8,005. That's crazy. Only 8,005. $46 in AU, which is right around that, so about 50. But you know, there's quite a bit of demand for it. Could probably pull off more than that. So pretty awesome. I was absolutely stoked with this. This one I'm keeping because I've actually really wanted these things. I really want to complete a whole set of these, and I got 2 coins, and you know, they're pretty hard to, you know, probably find a whole set of them. But hey, I already got 2 now, so only gotta another, I don't know, like 15 more to go, but whatever. So yeah, guys, thanks guys for watching. I know a long video, but I'm very happy with these purchases. So not bad at all. And thanks guys for watching, and I got a fantastic coin store find video coming up pretty soon. Thanks guys for watching. Happy hunting, and I'll see you guys later.